but it just makes the court feel a little bit uncomfortable making rulings on what the remedies might be in the event Mr. Iman is found to be in violation of any of the statutes, because I want to go into the case, if the case gets to me for fact-finding, for trial, I want to go into it with a clean slate. Now I'm digressing, I apologize for that. So really, what I started to say is the court's thought process is, despite the court's inclination otherwise, I'll hear it. I'll hear your motion, and over the objection of the state, I'll hear it. My other thought process is, people have lives. Mr. Newman's going to be gone. Mr. Iman's argument that there are how many other hundreds of assistant attorney generals who can handle this case, that has some merit to it. That being said, it is Mr. Newman's case. Mr. Newman, let me rephrase that. Mr. Newman is the assistant attorney general who is handling this case. I'm not going to compel or make a decision that results in some other lawyer picking up the ball. So I'm going to hear the motion. But it's not going to be on the 12th, because I'm not going to tell Mr. Newman that he has to cancel his vacation. I wouldn't do that to Mr. Iman. I wouldn't do it to anybody, because we all have lives outside of the courtroom, and this court is not going to interfere with people's personal schedules. So I'm going to hear it, but I'm going to hear it either on the 5th or on the next day that Mr. Newman is available. And I'm going to put the ball in Mr. Iman's court. Would you rather hear it on the 5th? Would you rather have the court hear it on the 5th? Or Mr. Newman, what's your date? May 17th.
Please.
May 17th.
I said that I did not want to be contemptuous, and you said I'm not being contemptuous. You said you didn't want to feel uncomfortable. I'm about to try and make you feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
So, in a case like this, it is not under normal court rules. That under the normal court system that we have, you are innocent until proven guilty. And that's the way it works. 99.9% of the time, that's the way it works. But when it's a political litigation, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. It's a different standard. It may not be the standard in your mind, but I think that it is important I can only speak for myself. I cannot speak for you. I will speak from my own experience, is that in this litigation, when an argument is made that somebody is in contempt, the belief is that how can you reward someone who is in contempt with a partial summary judgment decision?
Say that again.
The argument would be
From who?
from the state, from anybody observing the situation. They would say, he's in contempt. How can you reward him with granting his motion for a partial summary judgment on the lifetime ban? How can you reward that because you're validating his contempt for the court, for the contempt for the state? You cannot unring that bell.